Hi, I've been getting a lot of requests on how to for bottle tech style extraction. So my purpose is to go through that start to finish, so everybody kind of knows what I look for in selecting a bag Micron, and then how to properly fold and load the bag bottle tech style, and some of the reasons that we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and extract 3.5 grams of fresh flour, and we'll open the flour to determine what micron of bag that I'm going to use. Now these are our 3 different microns that we offer in the 3.5 gram bags. The 160 micron, which we'll use for fresher flour, spongy flour that doesn't flake or crumble. As the flour starts to dry out, we'll start to use a smaller micron so we don't get any of the plant material flowing in with the rosin. 120, and then we go all the way down to a 90. The difference in yield between the 160 and a 90 micron is maybe 0.5%. So it's not a huge difference in yield, my experience tells me, but there is a small difference in yield. But when that 0.5% extracts all the plant material out of it, it's well worth it. So that's why we go down to micron on bags. So we're going to open this 8 and see what condition it is in. This is that California packaging, so it's all packaged. Smells great, and it stayed it's pretty moist. So I'll pull out a nug and I'll just determine kind of where it's at. It's still nice and moist, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a 160. I don't think I'll get much in it. It's right on the edge of a 120 and a 160. But it's if it's between 69–70% all the way up to 73% humidity, it should be about a 160. Between 69 and 66, 65-ish, 120, and then anything below the 65-ish, typically I use 90. Or you can breathe some more life into it too with a Bovita pack or something of that nature. So anyway, now that we've decided what bag we're going to use, I'm going to take the 3.5 gram 160 micron bag out, this one. And I'll get rid of the rest of these. Now, of course, we offer these in 3.5 grams, 7 grams, and 14 grams. And if you're using any of our bags, the bottle tech style that we'll show you here is all the same, just more material. And those aren't those gram size ratings aren't a must. If you do much more than 3.5 grams in a 3.5 gram bag, you have risk of blowouts at lower than 1350 psi on the actual material. So the key to bottle tech, now that we've determined that we're going to use a 160 micron bag, we have, I think, 3.5 grams here. It's supposed to be. That's exactly what we got. So 3.5 grams on the scale. The first step to it is we'll take the actual bag that we're going to use, this one, and we're going to invert the bottom corners. That's the first step to bottle tech style. So I'm just going to flip them inside out with my thumb. I take something somewhat sharp, like a pair of scissors, and I'll poke the corners in so they're completely inverted, just like that. And I put my thumbs in the pockets and I'll peel them back just a little bit so it looks like that, and the corners overlap each other. And what this will help with is it'll lock the cylinder in, the coin-like puck in at the end, so it'll, when it extracts, you'll know the exact surface area size to be able to determine the exact pressure on the material to get a consistent result. And you can multiply that result by multiplying bags in a press, doing, you could do, when you find your formula out, you can do, instead of 1 bag, you can do 10 if you want, and get the exact same yield quality, thus having the same pressure on the material. And that's what it's all about. So, having the corners overlapped like that, now we'll start adding material to it. Bring our material over from here. And what we do is, remember, it's going to extract straight down. So we'll want to put a base in it, put some of the smaller pieces. We'll just drop them in, kind of let them settle where they want to settle. Remember, we're making a round coin-like shape. So once we get a base in there, we'll go ahead and just kind of lightly press down so that we start filling the gaps, and we start forming the bottom portion of the bag against the surface, which folds the corners in like that. We'll drop the rest in here. I don't want to at this point be too rough with the material. I'm not trying to put the plant material and the oils together. I'd like full pressure to happen under heat. That'll allow the extraction to happen properly. So once I get the bag loaded like that and the bottom looks like that, you can see how the corners overlap each other. This will help hold them together when the extraction's happening. I'll take and cut the bag off about 1/2 inch above the material line here. One of the differences with NugSmasher bags is that they're double back stitched every stitch, so that material, although you cut it, won't unravel on the bag. If you do experience blowouts with these bags, you're probably extracting under too much pressure. These bags blow out at about 1350 psi on the actual material. So once we get it just like that, we look at the bottom, real simple. The top, we cut off 1/2 inch above the material line. We fold it up like a little present on all 4 sides. Now the last side that we fold in is the side that we're going to put between the plates. That'll hold it all together. So that very last fold of the present is the one that we're going to slide in the plates this way. Now once you have, you can see, I'll fold it once again. Boom. See? So once you have that all done, you'll want to raise the press or have the plates just about the height of the bag apart. And you slide a piece of parchment in. And by doing that, it holds the parchment in real nice. Holds everything together real neat. Stick that in there. That out a little bit. A magnet around here someplace. There it is. And what you'll see is we'll start to get an accordion effect when this comes down. It's not putting outward pressure on the actual bag. And that's one of the keys to bottle textile. It holds the surface area, and it allows you to have a consistent surface area that you're extracting with each time. See how it has that accordion in effect on itself? But that's pretty much the key to the bottle textile, is packing your bags that way, and that'll give you a consistent extraction result every time. So when you start to work with a particular strain, you can know what to expect at the end. Yeah, and I put about 1400 psi on this actual material. I put too much actually, so we'll see what the bag did. So that bottle textile extraction key is to have at the end the puck just like that all your product separates from. And it'll be that same size every single time. And with that, the reason for it is results like that. Top shelf, top quality results. Thanks for choosing NugSmasher.